Mayor Robert Bodeker presiding.
Roll call, Mayor Bodeker.
Here.
Councilwoman Gavin. Here. Councilman Hug.
Here.
Councilman Landy.
Here.
Councilman Morris.
Here.
Councilman Ledger.
Here.
Councilwoman Quinlan.
Here.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Here.
Councilman Scherr.
Here.
First is citizens to be heard on agenda items. No one registered to be called this evening. There were no emails received, and no one is present to see under this section this evening.
Yeah, along those lines, I thought we were doing away with the calling provision now. The meetings are open to the public. So I think,
I think, Mayor, we were trying to remain consistent with
Okay.
what we've done last month. And,
Okay.
so we're allowing those as well.
all right, thank you.
Next, the city manager will discuss the items to be voted on tonight.
Referring to the agenda this evening, we've got a few consent agenda items, and then we move right into licenses and permits.
I'd like to do it on this property now, but I'd like to move the Shanahan item to be voted on separately.
We can do that. We'll make that an item on the agenda for tomorrow evening. So then we have licenses and permits. Turn it over to Liquor Commissioner.
Evening, Mayor, City Council. First is Council Member 4-20. A public hearing was held on November 25th for a new Class C license. The applicant is Leonard J. McHenry, DBA Lenny's Joliet Liquors. The location is 5951 Theodore Street. No persons appeared in opposition. No outstanding monies owed to the city. The police and fire have no issues. The building department will need to do a final inspection. Based on the facts of the hearing, the Liquor Commissioner is recommending approval. Next is Council Member 5-21. A public hearing was held on November 25th for a Class B license. The applicant is Salahar Bahir, DBA Celine Pizza. The location is 81 West Jefferson Street. No people appeared in opposition. There are no outstanding monies owed to the city. Police and fire have no issues. The building department will have to do a final inspection. And based on the facts of the hearing, the Liquor Commission will recommend approval. Last is Council Member 6-21. A public hearing was held on November 25th, 2020 for a new Class C license. The applicant is Mukesh Soni, M&M Liquors, DBA United Liquors. Location is 1560 Illinois Route 59. No persons appeared in opposition. There's no outstanding monies owed to the city. Police and fire have no issues. The building department will have to do a final inspection. And based on the facts of the hearing, the Liquor Commission is recommending approval. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item is 8-21, which is a ordinance declaring certain properties public nuisance. We had the Senor Tequila on the agenda here, but you've also got a communication from the owner's attorney who states that funding has come through for the project, and he's requesting a 30 to 60 day extension on this action so that they can move forward with their plan. Also noted is that the Joliet Police Department SWAT team has utilized and is currently utilizing this as a vacant building for training exercises before it's demolished. So tomorrow evening, we'll ask one of you to make a motion to adjourn it to a date uncertain at this point.
Mayor?
Yes.
Jim, you know, this has been going on for 4 years, and every time he gets the heat on him, he's all of a sudden worked things out, and it never works out. Can't we put this on the public nuisance list, and it takes a while to go through the court system. If in fact he does work it out to our satisfaction, we can drop it. Isn't that possible?
I'll discuss that with corporate counsel tomorrow, and we'll have a recommendation for you tomorrow then.
Thank you.
Is this the Basiner thing, Mr. Hott?
Yes, it is. Yeah. It's a plaza that would include Basinger. There's a few other buildings that would be included. Moving on to item 9, which is the 9, 10, and 11. These items are the TIF Increment Financing District for the Rock Run development. As you know, we have had hearings to establish a tax increment financing. And as you know, what that is it takes a look at it and decides whether or not it meets the state law's definition of blighted property. And so it doesn't necessarily mean that it has old buildings that needs to be demolished, but the fact that there's no infrastructure, there's no water, there's no sewer, there's no existing roadway or accessibility to the site that could ever make it developable without some kind of assistance to that effect. Tax increment financing captures all of the increased value after construction between the current property tax and the new increased property tax rate. And that money is used to pay for those investments. In this case, and is most typical, a municipality bonds for those improvements, and then the income from the property tax pays off that bond debt over a period of 20 to 30 years. So we've been working with Cullinan for 4 to 5 years, I believe. It was on the city's plate when I was still here. There was a joint review board meeting of all the taxing bodies on April 14th, and then per state statute, the city had a public hearing on June 2nd and on October 20th as well. We closed the hearing. And so the next step here is adoption of 3 ordinances. The first is to approve the feasibility study, the redevelopment plan, and the overall project as it's been proposed. The second ordinance approves the specific territory to be considered for the TIF designation. And the third ordinance establishes the TIF district itself. It's also should be noted here that the TIF does not provide the financial assistance to the development right now. There would be a development agreement coming before council, and any future development agreement would include that financial assistance that the city would ultimately agree to provide for the development. Any questions on this? So moving on to item 12 then, corollary to this is the plat for the Rock Run development. And we've also got the zoning reclassifications that they're requesting and conceptual site plan. They're in the zoning reclassification, lots 1 through 3 are currently zone central business, B2, and they'll remain such. Lot 4 is B2, but the developer's requesting reclassification to light industrial. This is the eastern side of the property. Conceptually, the site plan has been provided. There's approximately 828,000 square feet in this. Includes commercial, restaurant, fitness, gas station, office, hotels, banks, pharmacy, and adds up to that total square footage as they're estimating. So again, you've got a series of ordinances for a resolution to take care of all of those issues. Questions on that?
That's 1221?
I'm sorry?
That's 1221?
Yes. And it's all Rock Run related. And again, We would have a subsequent development agreement negotiated that would come before you for consideration before any development of any kind really begins. They have been out there moving soil already this season in preparation, so it kind of shows you Cullinan's commitment to moving forward with the project already without even a redevelopment or any of this in place. So that's a good sign.
Jim, is the only change here the light industrial?
Yes, yeah.
And then-
We, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, the latest negotiations, staff had a concern about 18-wheelers exiting north and southbound 55, coming into the commercial property, when actually their destination is to get over by Olympic and all of those areas. So there's a turnaround designed to prevent them from going through. And so the truckers will understand pretty quick if they want to get to access that industrial corridor, they need to get off on I-80 at Hobart Road and come in off of Olympic Boulevard. So that was, we did some negotiations. Both parties are satisfied with the outcome.
Jim, are we gonna have a barrier,
Yes,
a height barrier?
yes, it
So the
would be a
trucks won't
barrier.
they'll have to use the turnaround if they come in that way.
And then an encroachment on one of the properties to widen the area so that a truck can turn around and go back the way they came, rather than continuing through.
What percentage of the development does this put the industrial at now?
I don't know what the percentage is, but
You can get that for tomorrow's
goal,
meeting.
yeah, the goal was, to keep it adjacent to the existing industrial that already exists there and create barriers between, the commercial area and the proposed industrial area as well. We've also been in discussions with them, talking about light industrial as opposed to some huge 40-foot wall that, is the first thing right in your face. So they are receptive to that. We've also got a transitional area because the north portion of that is looking to be utilized as multifamily, and we're hoping that if that multifamily takes off, that it would move south in that transitional area as well before they develop it industrial. So we do have part of the agreement that, and that would be obviously memorialized in the development agreement that will come forward to you at a later time.
Jim, I believe representatives from Cullinan would like to say a few words.
They're welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rick Joseph. I'm Cullinan's counsel. Appreciate your time and consideration for this. I just wanted to make one point, and that was with respect to the barricade, as it was suggested. As City Manager Hawk indicated, both parties have reached agreement where the decision as to whether or not a barricade is necessary is in the city's sole discretion. But the agreement contemplates that that decision would not be made until after the interchange is open, so it can be determined if such a barricade is actually necessary. The plans will be for the turnaround, so that if the barricade does need to be installed, it will be. But to commit to that right now, until there's a demonstration of need, might have the unfortunate aspect of delaying project because traffic counts and traffic studies that IDOT and others have done may need to be redone if a new element is introduced. So the point of the matter is, we are committed. The city has that discretion to put or to require the barricade, but we're requesting, and city staff is comfortable that determination won't be made until after the interchange is open and a determination as to whether or not it's going to actually be necessary. And that's all, I just wanted to clarify that point. Other than that, we are appreciative of everything that the city has done here. And again, we look forward to your vote tomorrow, approving the TIP district and the rezoning, the development agreement, which allows us to really move forward on this extremely worthwhile and beneficial project for everyone.
Thank you.
Moving on, item 14 is a resolution for pavement marking, a little over $11,000. Then item 15 is a intergovernmental agreement at Route 53 and Emerald Drive. This project goes, again, back to when I was still here. This is an intergovernmental agreement with the state of Illinois because 1.6 million of the $2.6 million project is in a grant that Ryan Companies, the owner of Laraway Park Expansion, has been awarded. Speedway LLC will be contributing $678,000, and the remaining $341,532 will be provided by the Ryan Companies for this development. So you've got item 15, which is the intergovernmental agreement between the IDOT and the city, and then item 16, also associated with this project, is the development agreement between Speedway LLC and the city of Joliet. Item 17 is in regards to our desire to, not only desire but necessity to change our water source to Lake Michigan. Knowing this, there is a law that if you are going to access any of the Great Lakes, you have to adopt a resolution. All permit holders must adopt this non-revenue water threshold of not more than 10% of its net annual pumpage to their water systems. And what this means in a nutshell is they don't want you to waste water. So we have to make a commitment over the years that we're going to have an ongoing annual leak detection program, meter replacement, data handling sensors, and increase the awareness of water efficiency to our residents. In order for us to proceed with our choice that's coming up on the 28th. Item 18 is a resolution executing an agreement with the owner of 24639 Cape Farm Road. Apparently there's a existing non-conforming use that should have been vacated a number of years ago. The owner sold the property unbeknownst to the purchaser that this was supposed to expire. It had a sunset clause on it. So the city's negotiated an agreement where all of the proposed requirements for several property maintenance issues need to be fixed by June 1st. And at the time that the owner either passes or enters a nursing home, that two-unit dwelling above the barn will be removed. So the applicant has inspected or the city has inspected the apartment to date, and several of these safety issues have already been corrected. The rest of the agenda contains amendments, change orders, payments, approvals of awards of contracts and bids, and they'll all be reviewed at the committee level. I will direct your attention to that exception, which is item 31, which is the cultural car raffle. So I passed out before you a price. What this is asking for is a authority to grant the city manager up to $55,000 expenditure for this vehicle, which will be auctioned off by the Parks District, Joliet Parks District, for the fireworks. And then the remaining funds will be split between the Rialto and the Joliet Museum. So it's anticipated 5,500 tickets will be sold at $50 each, raising $275,000. First 40,000 would go to the Parks District to fund the fireworks, and then the remainder would be a 50-50 split again between the Rialto and the museum. The RC Automobiles, Darcy Motors has provided us with a round estimate of the choice between a GMC Acadia Denali package or a GMC Sierra Crew Cab, depending upon what the winner wants. So not knowing what sales incentives or estimated rebates are offered by the manufacturer at that time, that's why I've asked for a maximum threshold for this purchase. So the purchase won't actually be made until the winner is drawn and decides which vehicle he wants. So.
Question.
Yes.
Jim, what if we don't sell all the tickets, then what?
Then the Rialto and the museum will get less money.
But I mean, but if you're selling for the car, and we don't have enough money to buy the car, I'm a little confused about this.
You think they won't sell?
Well, I'm not sure because $5,500 tickets
Yes,
at $50 a pop.
yes.
When a lot of people are out of work, I mean, it just seems like that the odds for $50 for a ticket, I don't know, it just doesn't set right with me if we don't sell them all. Because then
Well,
we're on the hook for the 55,000.
I think there's a very broad and different constituency between the Rialto and the museum and the Parks District and the city promoting the sales of this. Obviously, Darcy Motors is going to be advertising and selling tickets or promoting this. I see this done, and it'll be marketed, I believe, even beyond the Joliet area. But, you know, we have a city population, but think of all of the other municipalities around us. And the Three Rivers Union has volunteered for the fireworks to be a sponsor, and I'm sure they will be marketing to their membership as well. I think these will sell pretty quick. I think way earlier than the 4th of July when the winning ticket number will be drawn.
What's the maximum number of tickets sold?
5,500.
So we have to sell
1,000 to break even.
approximately 1,000 to break even.
Yes.
I think that it would go up, but this is the cheapest price that I've seen when they do the car raffle.
Yeah.
Which usually it's about $100 per
Right.
ticket.
It usually is, but this way it makes it a little more affordable.
Exactly.
And you only have to buy one ticket instead of two.
So Jim, using 55,000 the maximum, if the purchase is 55,000, the city is or is not getting that money back off the top of the 225,000?
No, the city is not. This is our contribution. In the proposed budget, we cut $100,000 from the Rialto and we cut $75,000 to the museum. So this is an effort to try and make them a little more self-sufficient and hopefully take this, if this is successful, they can do it all themselves next year.
Now, when the Rialto is shut down now because of COVID, I'm sure,
Yes.
and they're planning, once the COVID is relieved, to just resume their normal theatrical programs and their talent and their music and all that, right?
Right. Any
I
questions?
don't think 5,500 tickets is that, when you figure that, even between like 150, it doesn't have to be here, but 150 got like 2,000 members or 3,000 members alone, and local one's got 2,000. I mean, there's a lot of people in the unions, alone. Doesn't sound that like a lot of tickets to sell.
There's all those residents that have enjoyed the fireworks as a family event every year, taking the little ones to watch it. It's going to be moved over to the Joliet Junior College this year with their big parking lot, and they've got that big field area. The Parks District over at Inwood is putting artificial turf on the ball diamonds. So they can't afford to have embers landing on their artificial turf, burning it. So it had to be moved. So this will actually, I think that location will accommodate even more people, more residents to enjoy the fireworks. And I think they've supported, in prior years, they've actually had a raffle for fundraiser for the fireworks at that event. And they just sell them right then, that night. So this will eliminate the need to, they've agreed to promote it in advance. And the Parks Foundation is the one that has coordinated the fireworks and the contract in the past with the fireworks company. So they're taking the lead on it, and that's why they would, of course, get first dibs on any income coming from it to cover the expense for the fireworks. If there are no other questions, I have nothing further on the agenda, just a request for closed session.
First is public comments. No one registered to be called to speak. We received no emails, and no one is here this evening to speak for this item. The next is closed session. Is there a motion to go into closed session to discuss personnel, collective bargaining, land acquisition, or conveyance pending or threatened litigation after this meeting will be adjourned?
So moved.
The motion is seconded. Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Landy.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Muddring.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Motion carries.